Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something huge, the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. How do you take these giant, world-changing ideas and make them feel personal? Well, we're going to look at a super innovative method that says it all starts with something as simple as a mutter. All right, so here's the big problem, right? The SDGs cover pretty much everything, from ending poverty to climate action. I mean, these goals are huge. So how do we connect them to our own lives? And more importantly, how does a teacher get kids excited about this stuff in a classroom without it just feeling like more homework? A lot of the time, the problem is how we even start. The traditional way, where a teacher just gives you a big topic like sustainable cities, can feel kind of boxed in. Students are told to go find information that fits into this pre-made category, and it just kills that natural curiosity. And listen to this. A student actually said this. It just hits the nail on the head. When you force someone to hunt for articles on a topic they didn't even choose, it just sucks all the fun out of it. It turns what should be an adventure into a total chore. But what if we just flipped that whole idea on its head? What if learning didn't start with a theme from on high, but with a tiny spark of your own personal interest? Well, that's the whole idea behind a really cool method called Tsubayaki News for SDGs. So what exactly is this thing? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's a way for you to start with any news article that just happens to catch your eye. And then, through your own first raw thoughts, what the method calls tsubuyaki, or mutterings, you start to see how it connects to the huge picture of the SDGs. And this worksheet is basically the heart of the whole thing. It's so simple, but it's brilliant. A student finds any article they think is interesting, like this one here, which is an article from the Kohoku Shimpo newspaper. They paste it on the sheet, and then they just scribble down their first thoughts and see which SDG icon feels right. Okay, so what's the magic here? Why does this actually work so well? Well, it really just boils down to two simple but kind of profound secrets that make it totally different from the school projects we're used to. The first secret is all about flipping the script from theme first to interest first. Instead of a teacher assigning a topic, this whole thing starts with what a student actually finds interesting. That one little switch, it changes everything. It's not a restrictive assignment anymore. It's a journey where you discover things naturally. And that leads us right into the second secret, which is in the name itself, the tsubuyaki. It's a Japanese word, and it literally means muttering or tweet, like those little thoughts you have to yourself. It's all about making it super low pressure to just get your ideas out there. And this is so important. Kids don't have to worry about writing some perfect, polished essay. They just have to mutter what they're thinking. That's interesting. Or I wonder why that is. Or that doesn't seem fair. Those simple thoughts are the real beginning of deep thinking. It totally gets rid of that blank page anxiety. All right, this all sounds really cool, but how does it play out in a real classroom? The whole process is actually broken down into 7 really fun and simple steps. The whole thing is broken down into these awesome, playfully named times. You start with choki choki time to snip out an article you like, then peta peta time to paste it. Next up is tsubuyaki time to get your thoughts down. Then it gets collaborative. You introduce your article, exchange worksheets with a partner, and then jump into YY time for a big group chat. It all wraps up by thinking about what you want to learn next. So here you can see it happening. A student picked an article just because they thought it was cool. They've pasted it down, jotted down their mutterings, and now they're searching for an SDG icon that clicks. And just like that, the investigation is on. But it doesn't stop there. This is where it gets really collaborative. Partners swap their sheets. They read each other's articles and add their own thoughts. And someone else might look at it and go, "Hey, have you thought about this SDG?" It just deepens the whole conversation. And it all wraps up with YY time, which is basically a big, lively group discussion. You can just see the energy here, right? All those little individual sparks of curiosity have turned into this amazing group conversation about issues that actually matter. But look, this is about so much more than just a fun class project. It actually changes how students see their own place in the world and how they relate to these huge global problems. I mean, at the end of the day, this isn't just about learning facts. It's about empowerment. When students can connect something they care about to a global challenge, they stop being just observers. They start to see themselves as people who can actually do something. And if you want proof, look no further. This is a real-world example of what can happen. This article from the Kahoku Shimpo newspaper tells the story of students at Kaminita Junior High. They went through this exact process, it led them to a real problem, and they took action. They actually partnered with Uniqlo to run a clothing drive for refugees. I mean, how amazing is that? This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's about raising a generation of kids who know they have the power to make a difference. Kids who see themselves as the ones who are gonna make things happen, in their own town, in their country, and in the world. So let's wrap up with this thought. It all starts so small, right? With one little spark of curiosity, a simple thought you mutter to yourself. But as we've just seen, that tiny spark can ignite something huge. So think about it. What's something you've read lately that made you pause? What could your little muttering connect to?